Between the Manchester Ship Canal and an active landfill in Cheshire sits Moor Nature Reserve, a 200-acre wilderness packed with dense woodlands and lakes. But this landscape hasn't been sitting pristine for centuries. Decades ago, this land was completely cleared and worked as agricultural fields. Heavy industry followed. The area was deeply scarred by a massive sand quarry operation, complete with conveyor belts and murky settling ponds. It was also cut right down the middle by the Runcorn to Latchford Canal, which operated as a major commercial shipping artery. Today, vegetation has completely swallowed that old infrastructure. The result is a rugged, unpolished environment where wildlife has reclaimed the industrial footprint. That history creates the primary trade-off of visiting Moor. You get authentic, world-class wildlife viewing, but you give up every single modern park amenity to get it. You define the modern comforts out here by what is missing. There are 0 paved paths, 0 cafes, and 0 public toilets. You are entirely responsible for your own physical comfort. In exchange, you get uncrowded access to rare species that actively avoid busy, manicured spaces. Deciding if you should go comes down to 3 groups: casual walkers and families, or beginner birdwatchers, and visitors focused on accessibility. Each of these groups will have a vastly different day, depending entirely on which specific zones of the reserve they try to navigate. If you show up expecting a standard Sunday stroll, you will likely leave frustrated. You have to treat this trip like a pre-planned nature expedition. For casual visitors, the main option is the 4-mile Figure 8 route. This path loops around the reserve's large central water bodies, like Lapwing Lake. The primary draw here is the scenery. You get sweeping, flat views across the water and clear sightlines to historic architecture, like the Acton Grange Railway Viaduct in the distance. This map shows the reserve footprint. The route is a long, level walk near the water, but look closely at the choke points. Along this flat route, you hit 4 flights of steps, a wooden stile, and 6 narrow kissing gates. Their entrances are physically too small for mobility scooters. Those exact same narrow gaps and staircases will also completely block anyone trying to push a wide double pram. The Figure 8 path delivers great views on level ground, but its gates and stairs act as a hard physical filter against wheels of any kind. Off the main lakes, the terrain shifts as you enter the overgrown, de-watered sections of the old canal that cut through the center of the reserve. The dense canopy here creates prime habitat. It supports 3 different types of woodpeckers and massive populations of hovering dragonflies. This undisturbed stretch of woods is also home to all 5 species of British owls, making it a high-priority zone for wildlife enthusiasts. But accessing it comes with an insect tax. Heavy vegetation and patches of stagnant water create ideal conditions for high-density populations of biting insects. If you walk through here without preparing, you are highly likely to leave with a crop of itchy, weeping bug bites up your exposed arms and legs. Taking countermeasures isn't optional. Long sleeves and a heavy application of insect repellent are mandatory requirements for this zone. The deep woods hold the absolute highest concentration of rare woodland birds, but the environment demands you actively defend against it. For dedicated birders, the ultimate destinations are the eastern reedbeds and the lapwing feeding station. The payoff here is specific and rare. These spots offer a high probability of spotting elusive wintering bitterns and breeding black-necked grebes. Yet the paths leading to these specific hides are the most degraded and unmaintained sections in the entire reserve. Even on a dry day, you are walking on uneven access roads filled with deep potholes and heavy ruts. Add a little recent rain, and that baseline dirt turns into thick, unavoidable mud traps. This mud creates a physical barrier that effectively blocks families and casual walkers and trainers from reaching the best viewing areas. Once you do arrive at the hides, you get shelter and a great vantage point, but there are still 0 comfort facilities to warm up or wash the mud off your boots. The eastern reedbeds operate as a high-effort, high-reward gauntlet. The absolute best sightings are reserved entirely for those willing to get dirty. Your strategy for visiting depends entirely on connecting your group to the correct route. Moor trades convenience for raw biodiversity, so matching your physical needs to the right path is the only way to ensure a good experience. This flowchart breaks down exactly how to approach your visit based on your specific requirements and goals. If you require a mobility scooter or are pushing a wide double pram, the infrastructure will block you. You should stick solely to the car park viewpoints or reconsider the visit entirely. If you're a family with older children or a casual hiker, the Figure 8 route is your best option. Just remember to apply bug spray and use a restroom before you arrive. If you're an aspiring birder chasing rare sightings, head straight for the eastern reed beds, keeping in mind that heavy, waterproof boots are mandatory. Over the last few decades, Moore Nature Reserve has successfully buried a heavy industrial past under rich, diverse habitats. But treating it like a manicured, modern country park guarantees you a muddy, bug-bitten, and miserable afternoon. If you accept the wild conditions, it delivers one of the most authentic wildlife sanctuary experiences in the Northwest. When you're ready to go, plan to park near the intersection of Moore Lane and Lapwing Lane to begin your trek. Gear up appropriately, adjust your expectations, and let the total lack of infrastructure become your gateway to a genuine encounter with nature.